Hello everyone, welcome to FPL Backbenchers. This is your host Somnath and I'm joined by Anjan. Anjan, how are you doing?
Well, I'm
Seems
doing
like
pretty okay.
seems like winter is here for you.
Yeah, winter is here finally for me. I, I'm doing okay, but my team is in a very bad shape right now.
Okay.
What about you?
I've just literally, I mean, 15-20 minutes before starting this pod, I've come down from office. A bit tired. I've not even changed. As you guys can see, I'm still in my office clothes. So yeah, that's about it. Pretty hectic, but yeah, we have lots of fixture coming around for us, and it's a quick turnaround. My
Yeah,
favorite part of the
true,
FPL
true.
season, right?
Yeah,
Exciting times. But by the
exciting
way,
days ahead.
some might be wondering why I have changed my intro from "Hi guys" to "Hello everyone" because I have realized, and it has been brought to my notice, that a lot of girls also play this game. So sorry, girls, no offense. Hello everyone again, once again. Before we move on, I would just like to let you guys know that today, since we have a lot of quick turnaround game weeks, we will be again doing a pod on Thursday itself. So we will be having a very quick pod tonight, guys. As in, it'll be a bit of like an effective pod, and we have changed the structure a bit. So we will not be individually doing the game week review that we do usually for this quick turnaround. Rather, we'll discuss the game week upcoming as a whole, and wherein we will look back upon the game week while discussing the existing match right? So a bit of change of structure for anybody who is a regular follower. So please try to keep up. I will obviously try to add timestamps accordingly, so it will be beneficial and helpful for you guys, right? And again, guys, anybody who's watching us regularly, please do hit the like button, subscribe, share with your friends, spread the word, help us grow. We will be bringing you amazing content, and we are hoping that we'll cover you for the entire busy Christmas period. Right? Enough of endorsement about our channel. Anjan, let's discuss about how was your game week. You
Well,
were cribbing about something.
pathetic. I scored 45 and I had a drop of around 31K. But I'm still in and around top 100K still, so it's okay so far for me. What about you? I think like you had a very good game week.
I think my game week could have been much better. I obviously just did the one FT. It was very uh, liberating, trying to control myself from doing a hit. So I just did the one FT from Chilwell to Alonso, and that was it. Nothing major, nothing happened in that front. But I had a good score. I scored 57 points. Had the Spurs match gone ahead, I think probably the scores would have been much higher. But nonetheless, we'll take them. I mean, it's a green arrow once again. Your red arrow has been brought about by your reluctance, my friend. I had told you to go for
Yeah,
red arrow,
exactly.
why you did not.
Exactly. Exactly. I thought, okay, might be Foden should be there in bench. I thought I was not expecting him not to be there at all. Yeah, not going for Jota, and that was the point actually for me.
Cool. Let's get into the discussion of the next game week's fixtures, and we will also kind of what's your Anjan? We'll do a quick watch list of players that we will be targeting over a fix block of fixtures that we'll be talking about tonight, right?
Hmm, true, true.
So let's get into the game week 14 discussion. The first match is Newcastle against Norwich, right? So
Two
by
new
the way,
manager
guys,
bouncers, sir.
yeah, two new manager bounces. For anybody who is not aware, uh,
Hmm.
the game week is tomorrow. Like, rather, the deadline is tomorrow night, guys. So just be aware it's not a regular game week. Things will come very thick and fast right now. So just try to keep up. So
Hmm.
tomorrow there are two matches. First match would be Newcastle Norwich, and then it will be Leeds against Crystal Palace. So Newcastle Norwich, Anjan, there is a lot of high hope. There is a lot of hype around this particular fixture because it's been stated that this is the fixture that Newcastle need to win to save their
exactly.
kind of season, right?
I
There's a lot of
I I guess I think Newcastle are the only team without a single win so far.
exactly. They have not won one single match this season,
Hmm.
right?
So like
So
it should be their high time to win this particular match. I feel
yeah, which entails me to the fact that I think this is being overlooked a bit by the community and in general the entire FPL players. Is that everybody is focusing on the fact that this is a match that Newcastle need to win, seeming to forget that this is also a match that Norwich needs to win as well because they're not exactly in
exactly.
a very jolly place around, right?
Hmm.
And out of the two, if you would think of it, Norwich has tightened up a bit defensively than Newcastle
A bit.
has, right?
Hmm.
Right, and I think I'll just go ahead and say this. I mean, sorry if anybody, any Geordie fan, any Toon fans is out there. I think Newcastle's defense is pathetic, like the worst right now. On top of that, Lascelles got his fifth yellow card. He will not be playing, right?
No, actually, both of their center backs had fifth yellow card, Lascelles and Kraft. So like both of
Yeah,
them are
so
out for this particular match.
Kraft and Lascelles. So that'll be a makeshift defense, guys. If
Yeah.
we like talk about the fixture that actually went by for Newcastle last game week against, I think, Arsenal. Arsenal won 2-0. So
Hmm.
to be very honest, I will not like everybody knows that like Arsenal won 2-0 and it was essentially from a brilliance of Saka and Martinelli that we scored the goals. Point to note is that Newcastle did not have any substantial like impact on the match attacking wise. I don't think apart from the John Joe Shelby kind of
Yeah,
outside the box
outside the
chances
box.
that Ramsdale's saved spectacularly. I don't think like Newcastle created or troubled Arsenal's defense as much, right? And that is saying something. So if I like think about it, uh, I think with that makeshift defense, don't you feel like Norwich might run mayhem against Newcastle? Like I feel like
I
since
don't feel.
Newcastle will be going for it, it
Hmm.
will be a very open kind of match for Norwich as well
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. I feel like it should be a more of a like open kind of match, but I don't feel like Norwich don't have those qualities in them to like score 4 or 5 goals in a match. So I feel like if I feel like Norwich would probably stick around 1 or 2 goal, most probably.
But the interesting thing to notice, and I obviously I don't profess that I've watched this match like live, but I did watch the Norwich against Wolves highlights, and the surprising thing was although the scoreline was 0-0, I felt Norwich were a bit more attacking than they are. Like
There.
they were more attacking than Wolves, and
Hmm.
it was probably due to a lot of saves from Sa and a lot of, how should I term it, probably poor conversion. Norwich has the worst conversion rate of any team in the league. I mean, and that is saying something, right? So their conversion is generally poor. Their XG was pretty high in that sense, considering they were playing a team of the caliber of Wolves, which kind of gives me confidence of the fact that this might be an open scoring kind of a match. I don't expect any of the team to keep a clean sheet,
Yeah.
but I would not be that certain of a Newcastle win over here, guys, because
New,
I think I
uh,
think out of the two defense, Norwich is the much more stable defense, and
yeah,
I think it's equal chance for them to also get 3 points, and this is essentially a 6 pointer, right?
yeah. Hmm.
So,
True.
what do you think the scoreline would be? I
I feel
think
like I would probably go for a draw, 2-2 kind of draw.
I think it's a big match. I would go for a Norwich win. I'll go for 2-1 Norwich, right?
Okay.
Uh, moving on, Leeds Crystal Palace. Uh, this is difficult to call because Leeds honestly have been pathetic attacking wise for the past few game week, be it with Rafinha, without Rafinha. They are generally not the same leads. Probably that is come down to a lot of injuries. They're missing Ealing, they're
mm.
missing Bamford for a period. Calvin Phillips was not there, right? So,
But
uh,
I think like in Bielsa's press conference, he said that Phillips is all right and he is like ready to play for this match. So I feel like Phillips being in this team, I feel like Leeds defensive unit would be boosted up definitely.
Phillips
And
played the
I
last
feel
match, right?
yeah.
I think he played the last match as well, and he was subbed at I think a bit earlier, around the
A
55
bit
or
early.
60.
Yeah.
I don't
Mm,
remember the timeline. That is
mm,
probably due to the injury or whatever it is.
mm.
Uh, and I also believe Ailing and Bamford are starting for the under 23. So they're playing
Yeah.
for under 23 tonight
23.
as we are
Mm,
speaking.
mm.
So yeah, things are looking up, but right now, also it can be said like they drew again with Brighton.
Brighton.
They I think they have failed to score um, 8 times out of the last 9 times against Brighton. So Brighton seems like a bogey team for Leeds. I
Probably.
was basically I was on Twitter Spaces and I was chatting with Andy Martin, FPL tactician. If you guys don't follow him, follow him. He's an amazing person, top manager. So he was basically saying that he would not look that much into the fact that Leeds did not find it to score against Brighton because they generally don't score against Brighton. Brighton are very defensively
Mhm.
tight in that sense. Uh, Saying that it's predicted since this is at home, and I think the both Leeds both fixture upcoming next two fixtures are at home. I'll just have a
Yeah.
quick
Okay.
look at what Leeds' fixtures are. It's Crystal
It's
Palace home and Brentford home, so these are
Brentford.
very favorable fixtures.
Mm.
We can expect certain some goal
Some amount
scoring
of goals
impetus,
actually.
goal
Mm.
scoring impetus going forward. So probably to barring that, if we just look at the Brighton match against how Leeds played, they were completely outplayed. I think first half Leeds did not play at all. It was all Brighton, and Leeds were very lucky not to concede. Second half, it was not like Leeds came back, but there was some attacking impetus, especially the Tyler Roberts chance that Sanchez scored from his left foot. That was the
Mhm.
most notable Leeds attack. Barring that, everything was Brighton. So very lucky that Leeds actually took a point, but beyond that, probably not something to read too much into. But do you expect a lot of goals from Leeds going forward?
No. Not at this moment, unless and until Bamford is probably back in the team. Not before that.
Because Rafinha needs somebody to finish his chances,
No.
right?
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
he's not a natural goal scorer. I
Goal
understand
scorer
that
actually.
Rafinha is a talisman, but
Mm,
he is not a natural goal scorer. He's a natural goal creator who provides
exactly.
assists and who scores probably worldies at times.
Mm, mm,
So the onus of if it is on him to score week on week, I think he is probably not cut out for that role, or at least he has not played that role up till now. That is something that he will have to adapt into, right? So something to look forward to. How about their opponents, Crystal Palace? I
Well,
think
Crystal Palace are they
heartbreaking
are
for them. They lost at Villa,
yeah, exactly.
lost at home
But
to Villa.
yeah, but actually Villa probably outplayed them completely. Ex- And
I
I feel
think
like
Palace were generally very slow
yeah, slow.
in transition in how they were progressing the ball, and
Mm,
that is why they could not create enough chances where they could have actually hurt Villa. There was some potency issue in front of the goal as well. It was not like that Palace were completely outplayed, but there was kind of a lack of intent. I mean, I understand nobody goes with a lack of intent, but the hunger to win probably was not there. So the movement in general, the aggression in front of goal, somehow I felt that was not there.
mm,
They did create chances and especially when we are talking about Palace, we are talking about Zaha, we are talking about Benteke, we are talking about Gallagher.
Gallagher.
All of these players were involved, and eventually the fact is all of them got chances. There was one very stupid moment. Uh, I'm calling it a stupid moment, although it was the referee's first Premier League match, wherein Palace were clearly on to goal with Gallagher, and this being a Gallagher owner, I did notice this. And there was a foul on a Palace player, and clearly Palace had the advantage, and I'm very sure that would have been a goal. This referee blew the whistle and he called for the free kick back, which was weird because Palace with Gallagher and I think Benteke were inside the box. And so these are small margins and small millimeters that change a lot of equation, right? Even like how Villa scored if you think about the McGinn goal, it was basically a worldie, right? Had that not gone, this would have been again a draw, and this would have been Palace's record since 1992, drawing eight consecutive match or not losing eight consecutive match. So I would not be disheartened simply because of the fact that Palace have a very smart manager in form of Patrick Vieira who will not let his troops falter. So expect this to be a cracking match. And again, I don't expect any clean sheets. What do you think the scoreline uh, can be
I
or would
feel I feel like the scoreline should be 1-1.
be?
Gallagher
Can't see
scoring and Rafinha scoring.
all the popular choices scoring. But it's difficult, right? I mean, like just can't for the life of us see Leeds winning any match. I mean, I don't think we have ever predicted till now Leeds winning any of the matches, and incidentally, it is that Leeds have not won a single match till now. It's telling. Leeds are already in the 17th position. They are flirting with relegation right now. It would be shame for if Leeds were to go down again. I personally, I'm sorry, Leeds fan. I personally don't see Leeds winning this match. I think Leeds will lose this match. I see Palace winning this match 2 goals to one.
Okay, fine enough.
Moving on, Southampton Leicester.
Mm, well,
Before you say
Southampton.
Southampton were battered, I would
Yeah,
like to
trust
correct. No, Southampton were thrashed in the first half of the Liverpool match.
in cricket.
Ralph has why I'm mentioning this is I am hearing a lot of discussion in the community and especially in the spaces where people are considering an alternative captaincy on Vardy. I understand the premise. I agree that I'm not saying that Vardy is not a captainable material. I agree that he scored praise and he looked like he could have scored 4 goals against Watford. Two things need to be understood about that match of Leicester Watford. First of all, it was not a normal match; it was played on ice. There is a lot of deviation, deflection, falls, passes not going exactly how you plan, a lot of slips, a lot of misses. That contributes to a lot of things. Half the players were not being able to see what is happening in front of them. Right. I'm not taking anything away from Vardy, by the way, guys. I'm just stating certain facts. Secondly, Foster not playing is a very big deal. Backman was playing, who has been out for Watford. What now? I think he's not played for 6, 7 straight game weeks, if I'm not wrong. So Backman was back. Foster was not there. Watford's defense is generally bad. Southampton's is not. Why I'm saying this? There's this like thought process that since they conceded four against Liverpool, now the floodgates will open. Ralph Hasenhüttl, after the match, he said in his post-match interview that my formation was wrong. I was wrong in the first half. Once I changed after halftime my formation back to our preferred and original performance formation, we played much better, and it was there to show. Liverpool scored the fourth goal in 54th minute against Southampton. They had a well over half an hour to score as many goals as they wanted. They did not, and that was not due to the brilliance of Alex McCarthy or something. That was purely as to how Southampton shaped up. Had they probably shaped up, it would have been difficult. We tend to, our memory seems to be very short-lived. We tend to forget that this is the same Southampton team that had a goalless draw against City. City found it hard to score against the Southampton team. I don't think this is as easy a match as people are making this out to be. Right?
And yeah, and one more thing, talking about like Vardy, like he is I think 35 or 36 years old. Do you think like
34,
he would
34.
34? Okay. Do you think like he has those legs to start in like in like every 2 3 days? I
I
don't
think
think so.
with Vardy, especially the whoever is the manager, I mean, obviously Brendan Rodgers is the manager.
Yes.
We been before that as well. I think managers take a different call with Vardy, wherein Vardy does not do as much training as probably the other team members. I'm not saying that Vardy does not train, but somehow the decision is at times left to Vardy that you know your body best. You decide what is best for you because he is somebody who even at this age has the legs to run, right? He has the willingness to run and he makes those brilliant run, especially the second goal, the one that he scored the header from in the that was entirely created by Vardy doing the run, wherein he dropped back deep and then he came forward and actually scored the header. So his run and his decision making is still brilliant. So the way for conserving him and him being match fit is basically that he doesn't probably train as hard as every other member of the Leicester squad. In saying that, it's a valid point that at his age, if there are matches to be in every 3 days, there is an option or there is a chance. Even if he's not missing the match, he might come off early in the match because there are
Hmm.
youngsters like Patson Daka, there are
Daka.
Iheanacho, who are not Iheanacho, Daka, they're not getting the chance and they are not
Yeah, exactly.
exactly Dutch strikers. They're not the worst strikers. They are probably one of the most exciting strikers in the league who are not getting chance due to Vardy being played. So there will be rotation. Although in saying that, I don't see Vardy completely missing out and not being part of any single match. Might be one match in this entire run, but yeah, the performance and don't expect it to be at the same level, wherein it will be like a goal fest against Southampton. So score
And like
prediction, Anjan?
yeah, and
Yeah.
like one more thing, I feel like Broya would soon be a sure shot starter because his like technical ability is very good.
True.
Hmm.
I think he changed the formation in the front line as well, right? So he
Yeah,
dropped one strike line in the second.
yeah,
Yeah, Broya definitely seems like a fixture, but again, as we I think covered in the last pod, it's very difficult as to who he will line up with
difficult.
because he has three
No,
three good
exactly.
strikers. So
And
it's like a
and
situation wherein people have who have Adam Armstrong. A lot of people do have Adam Armstrong. So people who have Adam Armstrong, they are in a situation they will not sell because their
yeah,
next two
exactly.
fixtures. If you think about it, Leicester as a fixture for Southampton is good at home, scoring
Hmm.
wise because Leicester's defense is very bad. Like Soyanchu and who's the other guy, Amate, they are like probably one of the worst centre back pairing of the league. So definitely Southampton will score, but I do also see Leicester scoring as well. So
Exactly.
yeah, I would expect both teams to score. I think I would not be surprised if Southampton won this match. To be very honest, guys, I'll go with a 2-1 in favor of Southampton.
I would go for a 1-1 draw.
We're going for a lot of 1-1 draws. I think all three matches you have
Exactly.
predicted as 1-1 draw. You think this
No,
is a maybe for draws? Come on, Anjan.
Newcastle matches.
Don't be so
No,
boring.
no,
Live a little.
Newcastle match.
You're wearing a
Newcastle
jacket
match.
for this.
Winter is here. Come on.
This seems to have slowed you down.
No, 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 no. Nothing like that. I love 1-1 draws actually.
You love those clean sheets being busted, and you only want clean sheets
Yeah,
for your defense. Shame on you.
probably, probably.
Anyways, Moving forward, it's Watford against Chelsea. I will not elaborate this much. I think Chelsea will batter Watford.
True.
This will
Hope
not
so.
be a drudging. I'm not expecting this to be like a very high scoring 5-0, 6-0. But generally, what we have seen from Tuchel, when he loses or sometimes he takes a draw as a loss, because I think in his head and probably deservedly so, Chelsea thinks that they should have won the match against Man United, right? And even the goal to Sancho was probably due to a, not probably, it was
Error,
due to a Jorginho error, right? So
error, actually.
I kind of feel like it was a gift, and Rudiger should
Yeah,
have ideally scored at the end. I'm not trying to make excuse for Chelsea, by the way, but I think in their mind they have lost that match, so it's a kind of expect some kind of retaliation from Chelsea's end, right?
true.
So yeah, I think Chelsea keeps a clean sheet and 3-0 to Chelsea. Not exactly sounding like a routing, but Watford is not roll over and die kind of team. So they will pose probably a fight back. I don't see King scoring in this match again. I know King has been
Yeah.
scoring a lot. I don't see Kings. I don't see Watford doing anything for the next two match against Chelsea, against City. This is my honest confession. It might be my biasness. Yeah, so nothing much to discuss in this. Moving on, West Ham Brighton. Do you think Antonio will score finally?
Mm,
I'm confused as to why we are waiting for Antonio to score.
I don't know.
Like, why? I'll just interrupt.
I think, I
I'll
think,
just take one
I
moment
think.
to interrupt because
Okay, fine.
I'll just divert a bit from Fantasy Premier League. The greatest player of all time has won his seventh Ballon d'Or. So,
Okay.
so no discussion, huh? Who is the best? All hail Messi. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, I feel like Antonio should probably score in this match because he has been missing for last, I think, 6, 7 weeks. Right.
Can I ask you like one short and simple answer?
Hmm,
Answer: if Antonio scores, was
hmm.
this goal worth it holding him for so long?
No,
Thank you. I will not say much. We at time tend to prove a lot by underlying statistic. It does not matter, guys.
it
I
doesn't
mean,
matter.
eventually, if you're waiting for one day the player to turn, he will turn, but the cause is lost. I think better things could have been done with that switch. Anyways, I also did not make that move. I'm not here to preach. Let's just talk about the game, West Ham against Brighton. There was certain booing from Brighton fans at the end of the game
Exactly.
ag-
Because
against Leeds.
because like yeah, because they have seen lots of like goal scoring opportunity, going misses and all those stuff. So
You
like
think
they
it
are
was
also
fair for
booing.
them to boo a manager? I don't think, and again, I'm not being trying to disrespectful to Brighton fans. I think they are very lucky that they have somebody like Graham Potter managing them, who is probably a notch level above what their club as a stature is. And I mean, I felt it was funny because he has given them probably one of their best Premier League season start ever. They are in the eighth position. They're not exactly uh, in the dumps, kind of.
Hmm.
I can understand the frustration that they probably felt that they could have scored and they should have scored, but I think booing was a bit overstretched. I don't know how that will play in the Brighton players' mind. It should
Exactly.
play. If they
I
if it does play and they do play an open game, I think West Ham will win this match. If they're diverting from there, I think Graham Potter is smarter than that. Um, I will predict a 1-0 win to West Ham. And I think
I
there will be, don't you think there will be, sorry, I'm just interrupting you again. Don't you think there will be time management with regards to Antonio as well? Do you think he can keep on playing 90 minutes every 2 days?
and
I think,
Anthony like no Antonio had it rest in Europa League. So I don't think like his time would be managed for the next two game weeks because again, like
But
we have a
what I'm trying to suggest is, I think he will be hooked off at around 60-65 minutes. He'll not complete the
probably
match.
no. I don't think so. If like West Ham are winning by 2-0, I feel like yeah, Antonio time would be managed then only.
Because the next match, which is again over the weekend, is much more important to West Ham against
Hmm,
Chelsea. I mean, at
hmm,
least in their they are not like they are rolling over and dying against bigger teams.
hmm.
So in their minds, Chelsea is a much more important match for Antonio to be fit for rather than Brighton. Whom they can manage. I don't know. I just feel that probably he will get off hooked off by 60-65 minutes. Either ways, the prospect is not looking good. I don't expect Brighton to concede a lot as well. West
Hmm.
Ham, especially, I mean, obviously, there's not something to mention against City, but they had an XG of 0.21 in that game, which is exceptionally low. So that
Yeah,
says a lot. I mean,
yeah,
I
like
understand it's City, but still,
no,
that's
exactly, no,
minimal.
actually, no, exactly is that key. It was like not only about City. This West Ham team had a very poor game against Wolves also, just before City. So like this continuously, they had a two run of very poor games with Exia. I don't remember how much, but I feel like probably West Ham would bounce back and they should win this game by 2-1 probably.
I don't know if I'll talk about again another community favorite because he's kind of becoming the next bandwagon. So Bowen was rested out of the
Bowen,
blue, right?
yeah.
Rested as in he did feature at the end of the game. I don't know if that is a strategic decision or if that is rest and rotation. Because if it is rest and rotation, then Bowen has had his rest. It's
Hmm.
probably the turn of somebody else like Benrama or Fornals or Antonio. So that kind of plays in my mind. Probably that is something that is going on around. And
No,
West Ham generally attacking wise
Antonio.
is topped off.
No,
Right?
I think I guess Antonio had his rest in Europa League match already.
True. Let's see. Your score prediction?
2-1. Bowen scoring.
2-1.
Hmm.
You see Brighton scoring? I don't think
Yeah, I feel. I feel like
because
they
it's
should
only
score.
Trossard that is engaging in anything right now.
I feel like
Always looks weak.
I feel like Lamte might score in this match.
That'll be good news for a lot of Tally Camry owners. Ex Lively.
Ex lively
Wolves
owners.
Burnley.
Mm,
I think Wolves had a very poor match against Norwich, wherein they did not attack much and they generally looked very sluggish.
Wolves are like Wolves were very happy to gain 1 point from there. So basically, I don't think like Wolves' attack is very good.
They did not
They
take the chances. Again, I think we mentioned this that they don't attack or rather they don't score a lot, they don't
Hmm,
concede a lot. It's
exactly.
kind of a nothing match wherein I think they start with the mentality of let's get a draw and we work from there as to what we can do better, right? Worst case scenarios we lose, better case scenarios we win. But they go into the mentality of a draw. Uh, it's always we have mentioned this as well. It depends on what Raul Jimenez turns up. Uh,
Hmm,
I mentioned last pod Daniel Potence as a differential for this match. It was really sad that he was affected by COVID and he did not start at all. And I think that kind of individual brilliance was lacking from Wolves' play, kind of
good.
interplay that he does. So
Hmm.
that was big time lacking because Trincao somehow is just not cutting it. I think nobody. What are Wolves' fixture? It's like let's take a quick look on that. Wolves I know have Burnley at home, and then it looks really bad. I think Liverpool, Man City, Brighton, and
Yeah.
post that it is Chelsea. I think if I'm not wrong. So yeah, it's really bad run of fixtures, and yeah, I would probably not be looking to invest or go anywhere near a Wolves asset. The question for me and a lot of people probably would be that Wolves being Wolves and the mentality that they play with and how defensively sound they are, do you think Burnley can gain anything from this match? Like, can they win this match? Because a lot of people are looking at Maxwell Cornet.
I don't think like this would be a very ideal match for him because like Wolves are defensively sound. They
They
are
are
not
very
very good.
organized. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are very organized in
Very-
their defense.
Hmm.
Maxwell Cornet is overperforming his underlying statistics. That is not
Already.
a reason not to take him because we have
Mhm.
seen with players like Lingard who keep on overperforming their XG and they
Hmm.
just keep on scoring. So I'm not saying that is a parameter, but as Anjan obviously said, it's not the ideal fixture to buy him. Like
Hmm.
I am considering him. I will speak about that because, like me, a lot of people are probably in the boat where they are looking for important replacement. So yeah, I was somebody who was considering Maxwell Cornet, but I don't think this fixture is particularly a very good fixture for him. Right? Scoreline prediction.
Probably Wolves nicking it 1-0.
I'll go with a one-all draw for this one.
Finally.
I think Burnley has shown enough attacking wise wherein they do have the potential to nick one, and yeah, and I think it's a result that Wolves will be pretty happy with because I don't see them having an impetus of going for a win at any point of time. I might be harsh in saying that they are a team, by the way, who has gained the highest number of points over the last 7 game weeks. But in stating that as well, somehow they don't look like winning at times. They are just like very defensively resolute and kind of like let's see where we can go from there. So yeah, let's see. Their numbers have drastically dropped off from the first 3 game weeks. If you remember, they were like topping everything uh, underlying statistics wise, and they lost 1-0 all the 3 matches. And since then, there has been a decline in their underlying numbers, and but they are churning on results. Villa against Man City at Villa Park. I don't think this will be a hat trick for Steven Gerrard. Premier League debut. Think
No,
good job.
I don't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like at least defensively, they are quite sound right now. And
Kudos to him. He's doing really well. Yes.
and like one more thing, I feel like the return of Douglas Lewis in the team is a very good thing because he is someone like eh, who just who just like ticks in the who is a very good player actually. So return of Douglas Lewis in the first team is a very good thing for them. I feel like like Man City are a very good team, no doubt about that. But I don't feel like they would score around 3-4 goals.
I don't think. So I think I mean I'll just like try to sum it up. Villa will try to make this hard for Man City,
Hmm.
but Man City being Man City, they will have a lot of possession and they will eventually break down Villa. I would go with 2-0 kind of a scoreline. I
Hmm.
was speaking about this in spaces as well. Uh, there is a discussion that Chelsea and probably Liverpool are ahead of Man City in goal difference, and this cannot be like last year where Pep can just manage out games because he would want to go for the goal difference as well. My personal like 2 cents and my thought process in this is like I think Pep prioritizes winning the matches right now because
Hmm.
this is a busy fixture, busy festive period. I think clean sheet will be at a much more paramount for City than right now scoring 5 goals per se. Let's say if there is a team for the taking, they will. But like honestly speaking, how many teams actually try to match City in their attack? Hardly anybody. If somebody does, like how Arsenal did, they scored 5 goals against them. But if somebody is not there to play, as Pep says, they are not there to play football, then they cannot be scoring 5 goals. So defensive resolution is something that will be their main focus. And I see Pep managing during this time 2-0, 3-0, probably 1-0 as well. During this run, I think a lot of people who are not paying focus on this, a defensive double up on City is like something people should start considering. And I was talking about Foden. So a lot of position, I mean, you included, you also own Foden. Um, so what are you doing with Foden? Because a lot of people are probably losing patience with Foden. Some are in the boat wherein if they don't and Foden does not appear for the match, they will probably not have a playing 11 in that case because they have a lot of issues there. Me personally, I'm wildcarding. I will not like to have a 8 million plus debt player. I'm not wildcarding this week. I'll be wildcarding in a couple of weeks. So I will not want an 8 million plus player to do nothing and some 2 pointer bench thing coming up. So yeah, what about
Like,
Foden?
well, if you ask me, my particular thought process is that I don't think like Man City would score a lot of goals against Aston Villa. So probably if Foden is fit enough to be in the bench at least, like next game he plays against Watford, and that should be a more of a scoring kind of game. So I'm like fine with that. But if like Foden is out for a 1 week or 2 week, then probably I think selling him would be a good option.
See, how I see it is last match, that is the West Ham match. Press conference. We still haven't have a press conference from Pep. Probably we'll have it tomorrow. Right now, as I see it, last match Pep said that Grealish and Foden were training individually, right? So that states that they were not training with the team, which suggests that they were not part of the team plan at all, entirely. Hence, they did not play the West Ham game. Now, if they were not fit for the first 11, or rather even the squad for that matter against West Ham, I don't see them jumping straight onto the first
Start.
11 team
Hmm.
just one day after. So best case scenario, Foden starts on bench. Now I pose you a
Hmm.
scenario. If City are winning comfortably against Villa, let's say they are right now at 2-0 or something, 3-0, and Pep does not sub in Foden at all. He does not play the Villa match also. Do you think he starts the Watford match straight away? Because that is again after 1 or 2 days. So I'm not saying that Foden is suddenly a very bad option, but there is a chance that he can go on a run of missing 3 to 4 matches. If he does not feature as a sub during the Villa match, do you see him starting straight away for the Watford match? I see him being again on bench, probably, or he might start as well. But then again, he suddenly he does not have match fitness. He has not played any almost 2 3 matches now.
No,
So
look, one more thing. One more thing. I feel like if like Foden is in bench for this match against Aston Villa, he would definitely come for maybe 10 minutes also. I feel
what if it
that's my
doesn't?
personal. Mm, I don't think like mm, I don't feel like he would be like I don't feel like he won't start the match against
Even if
Watford.
we are talking about the fact that let's say he will start the match against Watford, Foden is not exactly again now playing in the false nine position, right? He's playing a bit wide. So,
Yeah.
like, what is the best case scenario that we're expecting for Foden? How much return? So, considering all these factors, I will not pose you the question that whether it is viable to keep Foden or not because we're not here to pass judgment. It is dependent. Everybody's team dependent. If your
Mm-mm.
team can manage and if you have a good bench, you want to ride out Foden. Absolutely, he's not a bad pick at all. I mean, he's a very good pick. Probably a couple of game weeks down the line, he might be a differential to you because a lot of people are selling it. What I'm trying to state is a lot of people are selling. So what are the options now? So the
Well,
options might be people risk
priority,
aversion. Yeah.
yeah, priority should be someone like people
Who don't
like who are
own Jota?
Jota.
Yeah. Who
Exactly.
don't own Jota? There is absolutely no question because my friend
No
Anjan
question.
has been in that boat. So if you don't own Jota, I'm not saying he's a must, but yeah, why not? I mean, he's playing for a Liverpool team as the centre forward. They have scored 50 goals in 13 matches. What more do you want? He's the third highest goal scorer in the league, and you're getting a Liverpool attacker for 7.5 million. He's rising in price tonight, by the way. So
Hmm.
that's one of the things.
7.7 actually right now.
Yeah, he'll be 7.7. He'll become 7.8.
No, yeah, he will be 7.8.
I have owned Jota since ages, so I don't know. I have bought him at 7.5. I've owned him since game week 3. Nonetheless, so that is one option. If you don't have Jota, presumably, if you do have Jota and that is not your confusion,
Hmm.
I'm
Prob
somebody who's looking to make this move. So there
hmm.
are, I have narrowed it down to four options. One is Sun, and if I look at Heung-min Son's fixture, they are second on the ticker list according to Fantasy Football Scout. Now, I have just taken this as a 4 game week ticker. Why? Because barring or beyond this, no plans usually work in FPL. You can have a lot of plan for the next 8 game weeks. I can guarantee you on a piece of paper, they will not go accordingly. So they will change. So if we try to look at the whole festive fixture as the fixture run, it is very difficult and it kind of becomes useless. So let's just break it into two halves. Let's call this the first half and then we'll discuss the second half post game week 17 fixtures. So Spurs have Brentford at home, Norwich at home, which we are already aware about. After that, they don't have exactly a very bad fixture. That's Brighton away. Okay, might be an iffy fixture, but then they have Leicester away, which is a brilliant fixture, attacking wise, considering how Leicester are defensively right now. And this might seem 4 game week away, guys, but this is actually, I think, next week, date wise. So yeah, it's not that far away, right? So there won't be probably a drastic improvement in Leicester's defensive. There might be, but doesn't seem like. So Sun is a good option. Barring this, I think Rafinha is somebody who I was looking at as an option. Rafinha is the talisman of that Leeds team. He will keep on ticking. If at all Leeds do anything, Rafinha would be there. So the next two fixtures for Leeds are brilliant. Crystal Palace at home, Brentford at home. But the other two fixtures after that are really bad. That is Chelsea away and Man City away. Probably the two toughest fixtures after that. So that is something somebody you can also think about or consider about. Another straightforward option is actually moving sideways and going for Gundogan.
Yeah.
He is on penalties. He's on corners, corner kicks, and he's somebody who is controlling the central midfield and making that late run and kind of playing that false nine position wherein he does those tap in and all. He's posting similar number to what he was doing last season as well. So it's not like he's overperforming or underperforming. In fact, if anything, he's underperforming his XG right now. He has scored 3 times in the last 9 matches. So it wouldn't be a surprise if he goes on the same run that he went for in the last season as well. So be on the lookout for guy. I think it's a very good proposition. Even with KDB fit, I still see Gundogan starting a lot of matches. I will probably him hardly misses 1 or 2 matches simply because KDB is not at the prime of his life anymore. He is somebody who is cotton wool right now at this point by Pep. He will not play every match because he has the high propensity of getting injured and I'm sure Pep would want him for the bigger matches and for the Champions League and all. So he would not want that injury, season-defining injury for De Bruyne in this heavy fixture. And so I don't see De Bruyne playing a lot of matches during this, which kind of suggests that Gundogan will be a mainstay in the team. Barring this, and another option that I had thought of, and they do have good fixture run, and if you want to get in on them, now is the time. It's Burnley. They have Wolves away, Newcastle away, West Ham at home, Watford at home. Decent fixtures. So you can also think about shifting Foden to Maxwell Cornet. So these are the four options I feel are the best suited right now because other than that,
Madison,
probably Madison is somebody I was just
Madison.
about to say. But barring the last match again, which I take as I will not say as an anomaly, but it's not a match that I'll base a lot of things on. But Madison is on form. Of the last five starts, he has scored 3 goals and he has assisted 4 goals. So if he keeps on starting, confidence and momentum is also a thing. So yeah, that can be taken into consideration and he can be looked upon. Leicester have pretty decent fixture run. Southampton away, Aston Villa away, Newcastle at home, Tottenham at home. So yeah, good point. Anybody else apart from this Anjan that I might have missed out on?
No,
Saha
I think
Gallagher
mm, Gallagher. I don't think like Crystal Palace have
Leeds
uh,
away, Manchester United away,
Manchester.
Everton home, Southampton home. Okay, not bad. Uh,
Not bad.
like decent fixtures. Uh, if you get Gallagher or Zaha, if you personally can own Zaha, I would suggest for Zaha because he is probably the much more attacking option than Gallagher. He's also on penalties. He plays forward for Crystal Palace, and they are a team that generally look like they will score. But owning Zaha comes with a lot of frustrations, to be honest, because he's not somebody who performs as per his potential, and his returns are very sporadic. So yeah, that's why I did not suggest that. So out of this four, who do you think is the best option? Son,
Mm.
Cornet, Gundogan, or Bernardo Silva, whoever you want, or Rafinha? Who would you go for?
I would probably go for Gundogan or probably Cornet.
I think this again depends, varies from team. There's no one solution, guys. Depends
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
as your structure and everything. If
Mm.
you don't own Harry Kane, I think, and you can go for Son, I think that's a good proposition considering their fixture. If you do have that luxury wherein you do have Harry Kane, I think owning Maxwell Cornet might be a shrewd move at this point of time to gain a lot of rank because he's not that highly owned, and
Even like Gundogan is also I think around 3% or 4% only.
but he will be eventually owned. If he
Yeah,
scores one
true.
more goal, he will be eventually owned. But Maxwell Cornet, I'm speaking about the fact that people will be looking at as a differential to gain rank because we are all hand tied by Salah in the captaincy regards. So yeah, he could be a nifty differential because a lot of people will not notice that going forward.
Anyways,
Anyways,
we can now
getting back to our scoreline, did you predict
2-0.
the scoreline for Man City?
Yeah,
Okay, 2-0.
2-0.
Everton, Liverpool. Everton are playing really bad right now. I don't see any ways how they can win. Probably Richarlison will be fit for this match. They have been generally pathetic. I think they have not managed to win a single match on their last 7 matches. They're in their worst run right now and doesn't seem to stop right
Yeah.
now. Liverpool, on the other hand, I don't think we need to speak about Liverpool that much. They are like
N-
on
Nothing to
another
say
level,
actually.
another platform altogether.
Mm.
I'll just go on and predict the scoreline. In
3-0.
considering the derby, I will give Everton 1 goal, so I'll go for 3-1.
3-1. Okay.
Honestly, I don't see Everton scoring to be very honest. This is just a more optimistic. Probably I'll also go with something like a 2-0 or 3-0. Uh, yeah, that's about it. Spurs Brentford. Spurs missed the match against Burnley. The Burnley Spurs match did not go through. It was decided 15 minutes before the match started that there was too much snow and it was unplayable condition. So we already have our first double game week confirmed. So at some point in the future, Burnley and Spurs will have a double game week. So look out for that. If you
Mm.
want to follow and know about double game weeks, please follow Ben Krellin on Twitter. He is the only guy to follow,
Master.
yeah,
Master.
regarding this. So at the rate of Ben Krellin. according to Ben, it might be somewhat sometime around game week 21. So I would
No,
not, provided
provided
Spurs lose,
Spurs
yeah, lose
to
their quarterfinals against West Ham and
West
Carabao
Ham.
Cup.
Hmm.
So yeah, then it can happen in game week 21. So I would not advise anybody to keep on holding on to their Spurs asset in sights of probably a double game week coming. If it does come, then in that point of time, get a free transfer done and move on and bring your double game week players in that team. For people who don't know what is a double game week, in the same game week, a team will have two fixtures. Just to clarify that. So usually we tend to captain those players. Scoreline, high hopes for this match. Spurs Brentford.
Well, in this Europa League match, I think Antonio Conte said कि they are not that at they are like not at very good level. So I thought, okay, Spurs probably they would like retaliate now. So,
Against
but like
Burnley.
yeah, I guess, but so I feel like this should be a good match. Probably Spurs keeping a clean sheet and winning by 2-0.
Plus, I also think the fact that they did not play, which gives them an extra day to recover and they got to train more, I think that will
More
play in
actually.
favor of the fact that Burnley actually had to play against Everton.
Hmm.
The fact that Burnley kept a clean sheet is a lot due to the fact that Everton's attack is shit. So I would not read too much into this. I will also go for a 2-0 to Spurs in this case. Harry Kane to score,
Hope so.
hopefully. Yeah.
We had him for a long week. We had him for a long time.
Yeah, we were like, there are early movers and then there are, I don't know what kind of movers are we. We took him way back. Anyways, the pod is getting out of hand. We need to quickly wrap it up.
Exactly. Yeah,
Last
exactly.
match of the week, it's Manchester United against Arsenal. Uh,
Honeymoon period is over actually.
for
For like scoring against United, winning against United.
they look. Ralph Ragnick has been announced as their interim manager
Mm,
and somebody who will consult United for 2 more years. It's the consultancy for the 2 more years that worries me more than this interim managership because it corrects a lot of wrongs in that club. Good signing. Kudos to Manchester United for making that signing. Big things are hope. I mean, we can talk about Gegen pressing and all. We will probably talk about it in next pod sometime around. We need to see actually the influence before talking, but
exactly.
it is to be expected that United will do a lot more pressing, so they will become a lot more structured. So there probably wouldn't be a lot of goals. They will need time to adapt to this because they don't have personals to actually play this kind of football in that sense. So they need a couple of transfer windows as well to really acquire those kind of players. But yeah, it will not be that open kind of match that we were witnessing wherein United were conceding a lot. In saying that, I expect this to be pretty low scoring. I will go for a 1-0 to Arsenal.
1-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah, I
Mm.
hope I think we can win. How about
I
you?
feel like I feel like it should be probably again I would stick with 1-1 draw. Probably 1-1
Yeah,
draw.
I think
Uh,
there's a high chance this can be a nil-nil draw as well.
yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, so but I think might be we might just make it. Somebody like Pepe or Martinelli or somebody like that.
Uh, so like I feel like you should monitor like United fixtures would turn good pretty soon. So you should monitor this particular match to see like who is like whom to bring them particularly. Probably mm, S- Sancho or Rashford or probably Bruno,
Okay, so
someone like
that's
that.
a good segue. What we will do is we'll quickly look at the ticker. For the next 4 game weeks, let's think about this 4 game week as a block. So
Hmm.
Man United has the best fixture according to the ticker by FFS Scout. It's Arsenal, Crystal Palace at home, and then Norwich and Brentford away. Pretty decent. So one player to target from Man United. Anjan, what do you think?
I would probably go for Bruno Fernandes if I had the
Okay.
fun.
I would say if Teles continues playing, he does become an exciting option. So something to monitor there.
Yeah.
The reason why we are not mentioning, or specifically I'm not mentioning Cristiano Ronaldo, I'll explain it later why. Moving on, Tottenham, one player to target.
Probably, I guess Harry Kane. Harry Kane is an option. Regulion probably.
Yeah, I would concur. I think Harry Kane is the player to target right now. Why? Because for anything to happen for Spurs, I think Harry Kane forms need to turn around so that
Hmm.
Spurs form turning around would coincide with Harry Kane's form turning around. That'll be a big factor. So that needs to happen. Man City, player to target.
Gundogan probably.
Yeah. So okay. I would say if you're looking for a defensive double up, Walker
Double
is an
defense.
exciting option. Yeah. So Walker is an exciting option that you can look at.
Diaz.
City only sit. No, I would still suggest Walker because there is probably less rotation. Walker is also good at getting bonuses, and City only has three fullbacks in Zinchenko, Walker, and Cancelo. So if you're assuming you already own Cancelo, if you don't own Cancelo, make your priority to own Cancelo. If you own Cancelo and Walker, you're pretty much sure that you'll at least get one defender because barring some freakish act from Pep wherein he makes Nathan Ake and John Stones right back and left back, he can. But I think barring that, you should be getting at least one defender, if not both, every match. So these are from Man City. Burnley, I think we have already spoken. We both agree it's Maxwell Corner if you want to target. I don't think anybody is looking for a defender right now. If you are,
No,
Luton
no.
is an option. If you are, I don't think anybody is. Liverpool, I think it's pretty much filled up. I mean, think we have
Fill
Salah,
up.
we have Trent. So if you don't have Jota, make Jota a priority. You can get Jota. I would not suggest getting Robertson, although he performed well. I think that's a waste of Liverpool spot as well as his point per million return is not that great. I mean, why wouldn't you get Jota for 0.5 million more? So yeah. Leicester, I think you said Madison.
Yeah.
I would also, if Harvey Barnes can nail down his position, I think probably Harvey Barnes. But that's a very big if. If not, I'm not generally tempted by Madison. So because he tends to always underperform as to whatever. In real life, he looks amazing and doesn't seem to perform field wise. Vardy is too expensive for my blood, and I think there are better alternatives now that will be cropping up in the form of Kane, Ronaldo, Luka. Chelsea, I
Probably
think
the fullbacks Alonso, James, and probably Lukaku.
Yeah, I think fullbacks have been talked about a lot, and there have been a lot of threads and all. I think a lot of people are looking right now that owning Kane and then switching to Ronaldo from game week 16 or 17 onwards. I personally feel people are overlooking Lukaku. Lukaku has very decent fixtures. Even if you want to jump on Lukaku right now, it's not a bad time. I think he will be starting. Chelsea fan in the house can tell us. He'll be starting
No,
from now. You're saying?
no, 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 no.
If not this match,
He,
then probably next match.
mm, yeah, probably next match.
Yeah. So his fixture run is Watford, West Ham. In any case, for Watford and West Ham, nobody I think should be going for Lukaku over Kane. To have the
Yeah.
fun, go for Kane. And then if you want to make the switch,
Hmm.
it's Leeds home and Everton home. I think those are dream fixtures. because they are not generally a team who defend a lot and they will go for that thing. And I think it's a perfect match for Lukaku. So that's why I did not say Ronaldo, because Ronaldo does not actually fit in the new system that they will probably be playing, again pressing or whatever it is called. So his position might be a bit iffy in the team. Nothing confirmed, but if anything to go by last match, might be iffy. Something to look out for. Mm, Newcastle, I think the next three fixtures are very good. Norwich home, Burnley home, Leicester away. After that,
Mm,
it's Norwich.
I think there is nothing more than Wilson or probably Saint Maximum. Nothing more than that.
Yeah, I think either Saint Maximin or Wilson, preferably Wilson. If not, then yeah, PSM, why not? And we'll do one more, I think, in the form of Palace. I think there have been a lot of criticism, but I think still Gallagher is the way to go.
Yeah,
Because
Gallagher.
firstly, you're getting a sure shot starter. Uh, does I don't think they have Chelsea in the next four. So yeah, he plays all and he plays 19 everything, and he's generally very involved, whether be it in attack or defense. If Gallagher gets any kind of return, he'll be in bonus. You can be assured
Yeah,
about that because
true.
by the amount of what he does. Speaking of players to target, players you should not target or should be wary about, and Matthias Norman. So these players are on four yellow cards. I'm just reiterating you. This information is there available on Fantasy Football Scout. You can go check it out as well. So Matthias Norman from Norwich, Bruno Fernandes from Manchester United, unpopular. Brownhill. A lot of people have Brownhill on their bench. Uh, four yellow cards. Canos from Brentford. Matty Cash is somebody. Him getting a fifth yellow card might derail Aston Villa. Cancelo is on four yellow cards, so that is very interesting, and can almost be certain that he'll be getting the fifth yellow card because they have to avoid this till game week 19. I think
Yeah.
that's almost six game weeks. I don't see him. So yeah, be prepared for that. So make sure you have benches ready because Cancelo might miss a match. Cooper from Leeds, Duffy. I think it's high time for Duffy to go. Whoever is holding, start planning. Duffy is no longer an option. If you're looking for an alternative, you can look at the Arsenal guys. Preferably, well, Tavares is very exciting. You can also go for Tomiyasu, who is a much bit more
Tomiyasu
made.
is Tomiyasu is just 4.6, I guess.
I think it's 4.5. If I'm not wrong.
4.6.
Okay, 4.6. So yeah, I mean it's not a very big switch from Duffy, right? 4.3 to 4.6. You'll get an assured starter because Tomiyasu does not have a competition. Tavares does. Tierney might come in.
Uh,
If you don't
and,
want
and and I feel like if you want to like downgrade also, I think Johnson is a very good option. Like West Ham fixtures
yeah,
turned good from game week 17.
so that's a long-term hold. So if you're looking not right at this fixture block, and if you're looking for a long-term bench option,
Yeah,
but that is hard to predict because he might or he might not keep his place till then. Then again, you have a dead player. If suddenly Sufal starts starting over Ben Johnson's come game week 18, then yeah, it's probably screwed. So I would rather go with teams that are certain. So I would like to say Lamte, but then again, Lamte comes with the injury risk. Barring this, there are other options as well. I think Mark Gay is there, um Alec Mitchell is there. So a lot of
mm.
options. Just check out from Crystal Palace and Arsenal as well. Ben White is there. Adam Lallana, James McGinn, Tyron Mings. So two Aston Villa defenders are on four yellow cards. Rodrigo from Leeds, okay. Norgard, Pogba is on yellow. Four yellows. Hardly plays. He get the four yellows. Uh, Declan Rice is on four yellow cards. Fred is on four yellow cards. I think that will be a favor to Manchester United fans if he misses the match. Christian Romero is on four yellow cards. So currently, Christian Romero is already out due to, I think, injury.
Injury. Yeah.
Then he comes back. If he gets another yellow, then he again misses another match. So he's taking his time to adjust to the new league. It's being difficult for him. Salisu is on four yellow cards. Sambi Lakonga is on four yellow cards. Shaw is on four yellow cards. I don't know what happened with Shaw. He's no longer playing. Seems strange. Weltman is on 4 yellow cards, Joel Ward and Callum Wilson. So anybody who is going for Wilson, be wary about this. He can very well receive a yellow card against Norwich. You can almost see it happening. And then he misses the Burnley match. It's the Burnley match. Next one. Yeah, Burnley at home. So yeah,
Burnley.
just be wary about these players and this players to avoid. There are others on 3 yellow cards as well. I'm not doing that, so you can go out and check it out on Fantasy Football Scout. One thing I forgot to ask from the fixtures, Anjan, anybody else you are thinking of captaining, but I think that I'll cover on your team. So let's bring up your team now. You have already made your transfer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll just quickly read your team for the viewers. It's Ramsdale, then Cancelo, Alexander Arnold, Alonso, Emerson Royal, James, Jota, Salah, Antonio, Wang, Kane, and on your bench there's Foden, Gilmore, and Brownhill. So what was your transfer? Why don't you tell our listeners?
I did Saka, Boomer to Jota and Gilmer. Did on Saturday itself. Bridge transfer probably.
Saka and more to Jota and Gilmore. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think James will play this match? Because otherwise
Oh,
your team is solid.
yeah, I have this issue. I think James might not play this match. But again, I'm not sure.
Okay. So what is your long-term plan? You will be keeping Antonio, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
and
Bearing
your
injury.
your barring injury. So your bench ideally would become Foster, Van, Gilmore, and Ronald. That's a pretty
Yeah,
decent bench.
I did.
And you'll be moving to 5-3-2. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If like Foden is a long-term injury, if like Foden is a long-term injury, then probably I would move for. Then
So you had
I will
two
move Foden.
FPs, right? So both your transfer
Yeah.
have been a free transfer right now. So
Yeah.
now if you move Foden, if you get to know Foden is not playing this game week and probably will miss out for a longer run, would you take a hit this game week?
Yeah.
And then who will you bench?
Probably. Oh, hit for this particular week. Mm, then if I take a hit, then probably I will bench Wang because I don't feel like would Wolves would score more than one goal, and I don't feel like Wang is like definitely like he would be involved in that goal because he is playing quite wide now.
True. All right. I think you're pretty much sorted. Let's bring up my team. I'll just go through my team right now. It's 4-4-2. Ramsdale, Arnold, Emerson Royal, Alonso, Cancelo, Foden, Gallagher, Salah, Jota, Antonio, Kane. On my bench, it's White, Gerhardt, and Allen. And red goalkeeper in this team. So I have one free transfer. Now the plan is I am wildcarding in game week 16. That's the plan at least right now. So I have game week 14 and 15 to live my life. So I'm thinking I'm pretty much sure Foden does not play this match. Which I think so. I'm waiting for the press conference. If he doesn't, I have an option wherein I can either move to Rafinha or Cornet. The only problem with Cornet is already, as we discussed, Wolves is not the ideal fixture to be moving on. And I don't have a long
Rafinha,
turnaround.
Rafinha, seriously, because you had predicted like Crystal Palace winning 2-0 against
I,
Leeds,
I said 2-1.
not
Did I
2-0. Yeah,
think I said, okay, if I have said 2-0, I would change that to 2-1 because I think I have pretty much said 2-1. I'm not wrong. Rafinha, why? Because Rafinha has very bad fixtures, by the way. I don't just particularly to my team, but I just need this whoever I'm replacing Foden with for 2 weekend weeks. So Rafinha has Crystal Palace at home and Brentford at home. So he is one consideration. Cornet has I think where is Burnley? Yeah,
Wolves.
Wolves away and Newcastle away. So Newcastle away is kind of decent. Wolves away is not kind of decent. Another thing that I'm looking at, I'm not especially in favor of moving for a City mid because again Aston Villa doesn't scream like a lot of goal. Uh, I'm considering Foden and Antonio. I'm a bit wary about this because I'm moving Antonio in a home match to Sun, and I want to punt on Timo Pukki. I think he
Yeah,
has Newcastle, and that's a good fixture for him. And
I think Pookie had around 5 shots also. 5 shot in the box, I guess.
yeah, but I would not read much into that.
Much.
The quality of the shots were probably not that good. He could have done better. He should have
Hmm.
scored a goal, at least at the minimum last game week. I think Newcastle's makeshift defense heartens me more. And the fact that Eddie Howe after the match was cribbing about that Wilson should have got a penalty rather than stating that their team were not creating enough. I think there wouldn't be much of a turnaround in like 1 or 2 days. So it will take time. I think they will not become defensively very resolute or something. So I think it's a good fixture for Pookie. And well, we have spoken. Brentford's defense is not exactly watertight. It is just that the Everton's attack was so shit, so they actually kept a clean sheet.
Hmm.
I expect Spurs to score. Do you think I should go ahead with that for a -4, or should I just keep Antonio, who is playing Brighton at home, and just do Foden to Cornet? I'm a bit
Actually,
confused about this.
problem is that you should have sold Antonio a long time back. And if you are like,
But I
if
never
you have
got an
kept,
opportunity, right?
yeah,
And I don't intend to keep Antonio in my wildcard. So it's not like you sell, how will you buy back again and you lose value?
so like,
I'm probably not
if,
considering Antonio in my wildcard.
so if you are like not at all considering, then I think you should sell.
I mean, even if I'm considering, I don't see a very big problem in selling Antonio, to be very honest right now. Because
Hmm.
I don't care that much about losing value as such. If there is, I don't see West Ham assets becoming an option before game week 18.
18 actually.
So
17 or 18, I guess.
that's an eternity away. I think not even 17. I think 18. 18 they have Norwich at home or away. I'm not exactly remembering. So that's the fixture that I want to target. So that's like 4 5 game weeks away. I don't think there's any point in holding Antonio, but the only factor is he's playing Brighton at home. So should I do that, or should I just like do one FT and take either Rafinha or Cornet or Gundogan?
Like, why don't you consider Madison? He's not a bad option.
I don't like Leicester assets.
Now,
I'm pretty sure uh, Leicester will struggle to score this game week against Southampton. I mean, they will hardly barely score like 1 or 2 goals. And if I look at the next fixture, see, you're forgetting, bro. I need this player for two. I need to maximize my point. I'm not looking for a long hold kind of a player. So West Ham, Leicester's fixture next two are Southampton away and Aston Villa away. I don't see either of those fixtures screaming a lot of goals, considering the
mm,
managers that are managed that are managing those teams. So
well,
neither are
I feel like,
neither are like, conceding anything.
well,
Hardly.
I feel like fixture wise, probably Sun is your best option fixture wise,
Why not
or
Rafinha?
maybe Rafina. I don't feel like Leeds have those qualities to score lots of goals actually.
But you predicted a Leeds win.
Yeah,
I think. So if
probably a goal.
anything that Leeds does, usually it is Rafinha ending up with a nine
Yeah.
pointer. So, anyways, lots to think about, I think. But don't have much time to think about because tomorrow is the deadline and I need to make a decision. That's about it from us, guys. I hope there was a bit of juggling of the format and hope it made sense to you. And I hope we were able to help you in a bit. Uh, Next game week after this is very pretty much quick. It's in the weekend, so I think we'll be potting against on Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah.
So yeah, watch out. There will be another pod before game week 15 drops in. So yeah, that's about it from us, guys. Do drop in your suggestions, any feedbacks that you have, anything you want to speak to us about. You can drop a comment or you can write to us on our mail. You can follow us on our Twitter handles. The email details are in my bio as well. So thank you guys. Thank you for listening. Anybody who has taken their time out, I know it's a very short turnaround. So if you've taken, really appreciate it and do like, share, subscribe, and have a very good game week, guys. Hope it's a big green arrow.